Dude, isn't it crazy that Dricus actually beat Israel Adesanya? Like, holy smokes, isn't that crazy? Now, I was picking him to win, but it's still crazy how he gets it done. I mean, he looks like he sucks, but somehow this dude just keeps getting it done. I don't get it, but I stopped questioning this guy ever since he beat Robert Whittaker. And he did it again. He finished Israel Adesanya in the 4th round, man. MMA is just completely insane overall, man. And this just proves that Dricus was the most dangerous grappler that Izzy ever faced in his MMA career, since you could tell in his entire career that any other middleweight that could grapple could never control Izzy like the way that Dricus did. Dricus was landing punches every so often, and he was trying to go for the finish with rear naked choke submission attempts. That's something that Kelvin Gastelum and Marvin Vettori both sucked on. And like I mentioned earlier, Dricus striking is goofy as hell, and it made the best counter striker in the game hesitate so much because he never had to deal with anything like that before, which is crazy because it looks so goofy and weird, but none of these great strikers can stop it for some reason. Robert Whittaker or Sean Strickland or Israel Adesanya couldn't stop it. Dricus pretty much brought a crazy new style to the game of MMA, and even though it looks ugly, it's effective. And I just want to say nothing but respect to Izzy, and this is coming from a guy who can't stand Izzy, but he showed up tonight, and Dricus is a nightmare for anyone in the top 10. I don't get how this guy keeps getting it done, man. He's often looked gassed, tired, awkward, then it's like he just flips a switch and finishes his opponents. I don't see anyone beating DDP right now, besides maybe Strickland, but still in that fight I would pick Dricus. That's the thing, right? There were a few times in that fight that Izzy looked like he was cooking, but then DDP would just lumber forward and change the momentum back. DDP is just so deceptive. He is very big and physical, and he can absorb a ton of shots. And not just that, his will to win is insane. He just always finds a way to pull it off. Like Dricus really rocked Izzy with that Juliana Pena running combo, you know what I'm saying? And this fight was crazy because in the first round we saw both fighters exchange strikes, with Du Plessis landing some heavy shots while Adesanya utilized his striking to keep distance. And as the fight progressed, Du Plessis increasingly relied on his grappling, securing multiple takedowns in the 2nd and 3rd round, which began to wear down Adesanya. In the 4th round, after some strike exchanges, Du Plessis eventually caught Adesanya with a big shot that stunned him, leading to a knockdown. Using the opportunity, Du Plessis ran and took Adesanya's back to secure a rear naked choke that forced Adesanya to tap. And I just wanted to say a huge reason why Dricus was able to land so often to Israel Adesanya was mainly because Izzy moved straight back when Dricus would charge. He needs to move lateral, but he kept getting stuck when he couldn't back up fast enough, and he was leaning all the way back. He was just throwing jabs and straights, and there were openings, but Dricus ate it and just kept coming with his goofy blitz. And Izzy overall looked very good though. He didn't look gun shy as usual. I think one of his corners told him to not get too greedy, and then afterwards he lost immediately after that, which is ironic, but Izzy found a lot of success on going to the body, but Dricus is such a weird specimen. The man just ate it with his eyes and never stopped coming. Another aspect of Dricus we tend to overlook is his timing. He was catching Adesanya not just because of the goofiness, which is part of it, but also how he timed each attack and takedown. He did the same to Sean, who had a clean, perfect striking defense. He fought with the right game plan. One thing I did like from the fight after the fight was over was that Dricus and Izzy made up. I thought that was a nice thing to see, you know, with all that trash talk and beef that was going on between each other. And honestly, I don't know if Izzy would have done the same thing if he would have won. But overall, I'm glad that Dricus won so that we can have this moment. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm kind of a Dricus fan now. Like, the dude is a mystical fighter, dude. I don't really get it. I mean, he's a menace when it comes to the mic. He made Israel Adesanya and Strickland cry. He fights all goofy, and for some reason, it's freaking effective, which I don't understand, and somehow he just keeps winning. So dude, I'm a fan. I don't care what you guys say. If I'm glazing, I like Dricus. He's one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC right now. Now, if you ask me, it looks like Dricus is gonna have a rematch with Sean Strickland, and honestly, I know a lot of people thought the first fight was a robbery, but it was really close. I'm sticking with Dricus to win yet again. I just don't see how Sean beats him, mainly because he doesn't have the power to put Dricus away. You have to knock Dricus out to beat him, and if you can't, he's going to keep coming at you. And I think Dricus wins again, probably by another split decision, which would be kind of ironic. But where does this leave Israel Adesanya? Now that's the big question. If you look at the top 10, most of them are tied up with other fights. I think a good matchup for Izzy would be Nasruddin Imavov. It's a fresh fight in the top 10, and Imavov is available with no other fight lined up. That's the fight I would make if I was in charge. But anyways, guys, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as always. And I'll see you guys on my next one.